Welcome back to the program. We talked earlier in the program or in previous programs about some tax changes that we were anticipating, and one of the ones that has come to our attention is one that is focused on enforcement of activities relating to Bitcoin or similar cryptocurrencies that you need to know. We started this conversation on last week's program in this final segment, and we sort of ran out of time, so we want to make sure that we hit it properly here in this segment of the program. Welcome back to Dollars and Cents, where we help you make sense out of all of life's decisions involving your dollars. My name is Joel Garris of Nelson Financial Planning. Our team of certified financial fiduciary stands ready this week to help you change your life with a successful, cost-effective plan that provides you with peace of mind for the future. So when it comes to your 2020 taxes, there's a change that the IRS has put on there, and it's pretty surprising when you stop and think about it, especially given where they have put this change, right under the name and address. So it's in a very conspicuous spot, probably the most conspicuous spot on your tax return, and it simply asks the question, at any time during 2020, did you sell, receive, send, exchange, or otherwise acquire any financial interest in any virtual currency? You must answer that question yes or no. That is the suggestion or the proposal that is on the table for being part of your 2020 tax return. Why would they do that? We think that there are three basic reasons why they would do that we talked about last week on the program. Number one, they want their tax money. Number two, when you sign the return, you sign it under penalty of perjury. So there's no getting out of it of, oh, I didn't really realize that, I didn't really know, all of that. And then number three, it's actually an approach that they have used before that has worked pretty well. Back in 2009, they started asking people about offshore financial accounts. That alone has brought in nearly $12 billion to the IRS. So if you're doing anything with Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, or anything like that, the IRS absolutely wants to know and is really stepping up enforcement for the year 2020. So, because the reality is that, when a Bitcoin is roughly around $10,000 plus or minus, that's a whole lot of money that ultimately can generate some tax issues. The reality is that the IRS sees cryptocurrency as a potential threat to the tax system, whereby whether it's small-time enthusiasts or more damaging, sophisticated international criminals. Understand that non-traceable currency, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency of any kind, its appeal is it's non-traceable, and that's understandable, but if something is non-traceable, then who do you think is most inclined to want to use said form of currency? And it's not your, friendly neighbor Joe. It's, your friendly terrorist somewhere in the Middle East. So be aware of that. It's large numbers is what we're talking about. Coinbase, which is a leading crypto exchange, estimates that it had 35 million total accounts in the month of July. And if you look at the tax records, it looks like only about 150,000 tax returns actually showed any trading in cryptocurrency. So you got the leading crypto exchange, not the only exchange, but the leading one. The leading one has 35 million accounts and only 150,000 people report it. So you see part of the problem there. Much like the offshore account situation of 10 years ago, where they subpoenaed records and got information from various financial institutions that were multinational. Coinbase, similarly, as the world's leading crypto exchange, has also been subpoenaed and required by the federal courts to turn over ID information to the IRS. So this is a biggie, and if you are trading in that stuff, you better figure out what you need to do. Bottom line, if you've got it, you need to report it, and ultimately you do not want the IRS catching up with you after the fact on that one. Shifting gears, something else that we wanted to share with you was something that was brought to our attention thanks to a longtime client of ours, and it was a document that he got in the mail after he re-registered his house. He basically changed his deed. And anytime you do that, you have to file with the county that you've got a new deed. And so what happened after that is he went to his attorney, prepared a new deed, changed it over, put it over into his trust, and ultimately deed was filed. And then a couple weeks after that, he got this letter, and we'll hold it up for our YouTube audience. You can see we crossed out the names and addresses and stuff like that. But the reality is that it looks like a very official letter. It says at the top left corner, it is from the Property Records Office. Sounds legitimate until you see the comma LLC on at the end of it. So let's just stop right there for just a second. The LLC tells you that this ain't from the government, because the government doesn't have an LLC, right? I mean, it would have like, Office of the Government, not an LLC. This is clearly a business. What it says, and we'll just read it, Property Records Office. Again, giving you the illusion that this is from the Property Records Office. Seminole County records indicate that you have a recent deed transfer for a property located at address Altamont Springs. The deed has been recorded in official records and is the document that identifies you as the new property owner. To obtain a copy of your recorded deed, please attach to the bottom portion, return with a check or money order for $89. Okay. Don't do that. If you change your deed on your house and then proceed to get this letter where somebody wants you to pay money so that they can send you a copy of the deed, don't do that. Go to the internet. Go to the county property website, and you can print out the deed for yourself for free. So don't fall to this. The letter continues on. You will receive a copy of your recorded deed and a property profile where you can find the property address, legal description, parcel identification number, property history assessment, tax information, along with other pertinent information. Yeah, no kidding. It's on the website. It's on the internet. It's on the property appraiser's office, the tax collector's office. All of that information is public information. All they're doing is going online, clicking a few buttons, printing stuff out, and sending it to you in exchange for $89. Don't do that. They do, and actually is somewhat big print. See, it's right here on the thing, on the letter. Property Records Office operates in accordance with both business and professional code. Yeah, good for them, except they're charging $89 to print something off the internet. This is, you got to look deep for this. Here we go. This is a solicitation for the order of goods or services and not a bill. You are under no obligation to make payments on account of this offer unless you accept the offer. Do not accept the offer. Do not pay somebody $89 to go on the internet and print something out. Understand that this letter is getting generated anytime. Oh, and you got to respond by October 2nd. So, you got deadline. You got to do it. Send us the $89. Throw this one away, folks. It's not real. Ignore it. It's a waste of money. If you really want a copy of your deed, go on the internet and print one off yourself. It's not that hard. So, something to be aware of in terms of letters in the mail that you might get, particularly if you've gone and changed the registration on any property. With that, we'll wrap it up and get on out of here. Thanks for listening on to the program. We'll be back next week here on Dollars and Cents.